Okay, here we want to find the cosine of v minus u given. The sine of u is 5 over 13, and u is in quadrant 1. This means u is in quadrant 1. Yikes. Quadrant 1. And cosine of v is negative 3/5, where v is in quadrant 2. So we'll start by writing the formula, the cosine of v minus u. This time they're doing v first. So that's going to be the cosine of v times the cosine of u plus the sine of v times the sine of u. Well, the cosine of v, that's a piece of cake. The cosine of v is given to us. It's negative 3/5. The cosine of u, that's not given to us. The sine of v, that's not given to us. But the sine of u is. The sine of u is 5 over 13. So I know 2 out of the 4 values that I need. However, if I know that the sine of u is 5 over 13, let's just draw a picture. This is u, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Then I know that this adjacent side is 12 because it's one of those Pythagorean triples. And if the adjacent side is 12, then the cosine of u is equal to 12 over 13. So look at that. I do know what the cosine of u is, which means I'm probably going to be able to figure out what the cosine of v, the sine of v is. So here's v. The cosine of v is negative 3/5. So 3 for the adjacent side, 5 for the hypotenuse. That's going to make the opposite side 4. We're in quadrant 2. Quadrant 2. So in quadrant 2, sine is going to be positive. So the sine is going to be 4/5. So the sine of v is equal to positive 4/5 because v is in quadrant 2. And the sine of an angle in quadrant 2 is positive. So now we know the sine of v as well. So guess what? We're just going to plug all these values in. The cosine of v is negative 3/5. The cosine of u is 12 over 13, plus the sine of v is 4 over 5, and the sine of u is 5 over 13. Color coding really helped me find those fractions pretty quickly. So that's why I was able to go so quick on that. Now 5 times 13 is 65. So they're going to have a common denominator of 65, and I'm going to have negative 36 plus 20, which is negative 16 over 65. And that does not reduce. So that is our answer for number 7. That's our answer for number 7. So now number 8, I think you can try number 8 and see what you get. And then you can always come back and check your answer with what I get. With what I got. Not with what I get. So you can check it with what I got when you're done. Okay, I'm not going to write the whole thing out. I'm just going to quickly write the sine of u times the cosine of v minus the sine of v times the cosine of u. And the sine of u I got was 7 over 25 because that was given. The cosine of v I got 8 over 17 because that was given. And then the sine of v I calculated to be negative 15 over 17. And the cosine of u I calculated to be negative 24 over 25. And the reason those are negative is because v must be in either quadrant 3 or 4. So I look over here, v is in quadrant 4. And then I look at cosine. Cosine is negative in quadrants 2 or 3, and u was definitely in quadrant 2. Well, 25 over 17 is going to multiply to be 425. And we've got 56 minus negative 15 times negative 24 is a positive number. So 56 minus 360, if you put that in your calculator, or go off to the side and multiply it, whatever you want to do. And then that's going to give me negative 304. Negative 304 over 425. So that's the answer to number 8. Negative 304 over 425. So hopefully you found these videos helpful. Lots of different ways that we can use the sum and difference formulas, not just using our calculator, but definitely memorizing those formulas hopefully